Look at that water flowing right there. Nothing like waking up and digging trenches. Some people look at this and say, that's a problem, that needs to be fixed, and I agree. That's amazing, isn't it? That's about 1 hour later, after I opened up this main drain ditch over here. That whole pool of water, which would normally sit there for an entire day, is gone. Morning. Man, look at those clouds. There's blue sky behind it, but before I get pounded with rain again, today I'm just gonna go around here. I need to fix some drainage issues. Sorry about the wind noise. It's supposed to get real windy today. We're probably gonna lose power, I would imagine, because we're oversaturated. But see this power pole back here? We had a lightning strike last year that was just behind that, blew that transformer. That's a brand new transformer. I have trees all around my house. And let me tell you what, this morning at about 5 a.m. I thought someone was pounding on my window. It was actually rain. I have never heard rain pound that hard up against the house. Anyways, and lightning used to be a big concern here, but it is really no longer, and I'll explain why before I go up and fix all these drainage issues. So I did a whole entire video on EMP shield. And if you don't know what an EMP shield is, basically most people think of it as a whole house surge suppressor, but it ties into your main panel. But it's not a surge suppressor, it's actually a shunter. In other words, instead of just disconnecting, it actually pulls all that extra voltage that comes from lightning, from EMPs, from solar flares, and it actually takes that and it shunts it to the ground. So let me read you. A lot of people are confused. You're going to hear people say, oh, you have to have a Faraday cage. I've got a huge Faraday cage, but the problem is every day you have electronics hooked up, you have TV, you have computers, you have your phone, and you need to protect your house from lightning. I have an EMP shield on the house. I have an EMP shield over on the cabin. I have an EMP shield on my truck, and I have an EMP shield on my UTV. The very least, put one on your main panel at your house. And let me read so you can understand. This product has gone under such extensive testing, and the military actually uses this product. But the EMP shield devices shunt overvoltage in less than a nanosecond, or 500 trillionths of a second. This fast shunting protects connected electronics, and that's important. I'll explain that in a minute, and equipment from damage. EMP shields detect and protect connected electronics from overvoltage and voltage issues. EMP shields are designed to exceed military standards. They are tested to military and UL 1449 standards. They are proven to defend against the E1, E2, E3 phases of an electromagnetic pulse. They are scalable to any size. They are designed to shunt over 100,000 amps per phase. They shunt or short the overvoltage to pull it away from equipment before it can damage it. EMP shields protect against EMPs, lightning, solar flares, and power surges. They have I think it's a $20,000 guarantee on their lightning. Not on anything else, but on the lightning protection, they have a $20,000 insurance policy. And if your house or area gets struck by lightning, you'll have to replace it. And all you have to do is send it back to them. They'll send you a new one just for shipping. If as far as EMPs, solar flares, and everything else, no, it's reusable. But if it's a lightning strike, that thing's going to go boom. It's going to basically kind of blow up. But anyways, the old philosophy is, I'm out here in a storm, sorry. The old philosophy is you have a thunderstorm coming, so you need to disconnect all these devices, and that's not true. With the EMP shield, anything that's connected to that house circuit is protected. That's really important to understand. Good Lord, man. This wind's gonna come in today, and I know we're gonna lose power. Anyways, you can learn more about all our preparation stuff, like backup battery generators, over at Savage Prepping. You can just type into Google @Savage Prepping, all one word. Go over and subscribe to that channel too. Let me get back inside before we have some issue happen here. I want to see what we got. It didn't rain very long, but let me tell you what, it poured, and we're already saturated. We got a full inch of rain in about 2 hours. on top of the 4 or 5 inches we got the other day, and this is what happens. So I've got an excavator coming, and I'm gonna fix this problem. I need to excavate a train over here. I've already worked on that area over there. My whole property starts up high, slopes down, slopes down, slopes down, slopes down, slopes down, slopes down. So that's one of the issues. We've worked with almost all of our drainage issues. The only drainage issue I got left, unfortunately, I think, really is up here towards the garden and chicken area. So you can see I've got a drain line here. It's coming down. You can see it actually, water moving. And the water's going in my drain tube here. And that carries out all the way down there. That's where I have it going. I have water flowing down here, hitting that drain line and going out that way too. Okay, so this area right here, I'm opening up this drainage ditch, and man, you can just see that thing flowing like crazy. So I need to dig it out a little bit more, but I want to go down here. This area over here is where I have my other water flowing from this area down over here. Now, if you have a yard that has drainage areas, just watch the water flow. You got to be out there when the water's flowing, and you'll understand, what do I need to do? How do I divert this? You may have to install some 4-inch perforated sewage pipes. You may have to have someone come out and do it professionally if you want. But right now, that tube is in the chicken house, taking all that excess water from the garden area. It's coming down. Matter of fact, just to prove that I'm all downsloped, where is it? See if you can see it. Well, it's calmed down a little bit, but see this water running right here? That's water, and that water is flowing all through here, falling into my ditch and going out here. I've got a drainage, another drainage ditch on this side. This drainage gravel ditch is 3 feet deep. I came in here with a skid steer and dug this out, and because this area was pooling and I could see water flowing. Let me show you over here. You can't see it here, but look down at the very end of it. Can you see that water flowing? Let's look at the end of the drain pipe over here. Yep, water's flowing. I'm trying to decide where I want this water to go. Again, this will be putting a band-aid on this, because if I can stop those upper fields from draining down into here, I can prevent a lot of this pooling. I have a water pool over here. I have a water pool here. You can see it draining, and you can see it actually runs down over there. So basically what I want to do is I want to watch my water. I want to see where it wants to go, and then I'm going to help it. I'm going to reinforce that flow or divert it to an area that I want it to go to. Now, in our old house, a lot of this problem, if you have a gutter system, if you'll watch in a rainfall, if you have some pooling areas, a lot of that time that'll come from your gutter system. And what we did is, when we had new gutters installed, they didn't want to do this, but we tied the whole back of the house into one downspout. And we took that downspout and we ran it underground through a pipe under my fence. Now, I had an extra 10 feet beyond my fence to the next property line, and that's important. You don't want that to be shooting into your neighbor's yard. Mine actually went out, and I actually put an elbow in it and shot it down my property line past my fence. So instead of having 3 downspouts now that were all going into my backyard and going down towards the pool area and pooling down there real bad, now almost, I would say probably at least 50% of the water was coming from the downspouts. We took it underground through 4-inch perforated pipe and ran it out probably about 35 feet under the fence, just under the fence. And then again, I had another 10 feet on the other side of my fence. I wasn't in my property, neighbor's property. And then I turned it so it went down into the swampy area behind the house. a little band-aid fix. Water pooling in the lowest level. I'm just making a little line here and let the water do the rest. And you can see she's really flowing out there great. It was going this way, and I still have some going that way. I need to stop that. I want it to go all down that way. So an issue we had, what, a year and a half ago, our septic drain field. When you dig a drain field, anytime you dig a ditch and then you leave it, that dirt is going to settle. It's going to go lower. And sure enough, that whole drain field was a low point. I mean, it's big. It runs from back over here and then it curves around. It's like 200 feet. Well, the problem is there really isn't a good way to fix that except bring in more soil. So the way that I fixed it, and it's pretty good, this right here is my drain field, and this used to have a huge big water pool right in here, right on top of that drain field. And what happens is that drain field goes down, it pushes water down into that drain field, and then that backs up to the septic system, and then you can't flush. It's not a clog, it's just back pressure from your drain field. So I brought in, with the skid steer, I stole dirt from everywhere. Up behind the barn, up over here. I probably put 1.5 truckloads of dirt from around here on top of this. Then I brought in 2 more loads of topsoil and put it on here, and I created a crown over my drain field. So the drain field is now protected. It does not pool, and that was critical. I still have over here, you can see I still have some pooling over here, but I don't really know a good way to actually fix that, to be honest. So, but at least the drain field itself is, that dirt is up higher than any other dirt around it. The water's going to run off either way, and that's solved. That's a nightmare, dude. It's a nightmare when you know you got a heavy rainstorm, a couple of heavy days of rain, and then you can't flush your toilet. I hope you got an outhouse, because it ain't going down. It's that back pressure from that drain field. Really has nothing to do with your septic tank or anything. That's amazing, isn't it? That's about 1 hour later, after I opened up this main drain ditch over here. That whole pool of water, which would normally sit there for an entire day, is gone. And you can see if you can see that shimmering. See that? That's actual water flowing. So again, if you have a flooding issue, don't go out in a lightning storm, but come out during a time where that water is flowing and watch it. And what you want to do is you want to trace that water up to its source. You just don't necessarily want to go to the problem. You just don't want to go to the area that's flooded. I want you to go to the source of it, and that's what I'll talk about today. So we know for a fact the source of this flooding issue, water issue, is the fact that our whole property tears down. Starts up high, tears, 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 and tears and tilts. And it goes all the way down to the pond, down to the woods. The whole property does that. So stepping back, like visualize Google Maps or something, step back and think, okay, what's causing this issue down here? It's not just the fact that I've got a low spot, it's the fact that I've got that upper woods, that field, and this garden all draining down towards here. So somehow I need to alleviate that and maybe cut in some drain lines. Man, this is crazy. I'm afraid to be outside with all this wind and all this saturated soil. So it's about 12:30 now, and I'm gonna run up and just check on that flooding up there. But dude, holy cow, I do not want to be out. It's the only bad thing about having 10,000 trees. At some point they're gonna fall. Let me run up there real quick and check. But this whole area that normally would just stay flooded in here, it's all drained out now, or it's continuing to drain. I might come in here and dig a little bbit more. Oh, girls, be quiet. Let me check out their run real quick. Why do y'all come out here? I don't have anything for you. All right, so I need to open this drain system up some more, but it's still draining. I'm telling you, this place will drain and drain and drain. I've got to get an excavator and come in here and cut some main drain lines in here just to stop this whole property from going. So one of the benefits to growing all this green, turnips, kale, radish, is my girls get greens every day. So let me get them out of my hair by distracting them with greens. This is gonna get a little bit crazy. You have to hold on. You're the one I had to do surgery on. Yeah, I did surgery on your top of your head and you're doing great. I got eggs everywhere in there. I'm getting 24 to 26 eggs a day, but I need to come out. I need to keep out. I need to figure out, I probably need to go ahead and install another one of these drain line tubes all along here. But if I fix the problem up top, that's the whole thing. I'm putting band-aids on the solution down here. I really need to stop that drainage from coming down here, and that's what I want you to think about. That's kind of the point of this whole video is, don't just look at this one water pool, find out where it's coming from. Anyways, hope all y'all were safe from the storm. That was crazy last night. But let me get ready. I gotta go clean this up. Dot.